Official Wrestling presents Recent Developments. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the first ever episode of Recent Developments. This is a brand new podcast entirely dedicated to the goings on in NXT. I'm your host Kieran. I'm joined by Croft.
Hello.
And Pete.
Hello.
For this one. So for a start off, jumping off point, I guess, we're going to start with last night's NXT TakeOver War Games.
Yes, we are.
This is going to be a monthly podcast where even if there's not been a takeover, we're going to review the matches and the storylines that have gone on throughout NXT over the next 4 weeks or so.
Yes.
So, going into this War Games, general thoughts beforehand, before you saw it, what were we expecting?
I really loved the build-up to pretty much all of the matches. I thought it was a great idea to bring back War Games, especially because the three teams in the main event were headed by people who got the start outside of WWE.
Yeah.
Well, I say headed by, if you count Roderick Strong. The three people who started the match, it was a WCW match with Eric Young, Roderick Strong, and Adam Cole starting the match. Now, if you said to someone a year ago, that's going to be the main event of NXT's last event of the year, they would have said, no, you're mental.
Yeah, that's
no
true.
chance.
Very
but
true.
Here we are. I think it was a great way of showing WWE are willing to give a main platform to that. Like the rest of the matches, I thought had been booked really, like the build up to them and the feuds preceding them had been really solid up to that point, especially Black v Dream.
Yeah, we'll come on to that.
But yeah, general thoughts before the pay per view. This is the most excited I've been for a pay per view all year.
Pete?
Yeah, I was curious more than anything. I hadn't followed NXT as closely as, say, Croft, our resident NXT guy.
And you can read Croft's review of last night's show on the official wrestling website.
You certainly can.
Indeed. But yeah, I say the bringing back War Games. I think I remember just seeing that on Facebook one day. I was like, oh wow, that's a pretty big deal. So yeah, I was curious, and even with like the changing rules that they made, I was still kind of.
Yeah,
okay, this is probably going to be.
Yeah, I was a bit when I saw the change in the rules and that they'd got rid of the roof.
Yeah,
I was a bit like, oh, this isn't going to be the same. Like, you know, I was never around to watch a War Games, but you know, obviously they're all on the network now, so I've gone back and seen them because they're so legendary. I was like, oh no, this isn't going to be the same. But that was going into it, and of course, you know, the as you mentioned, the Black Dream rivalry, heavily invested in that.
Seriously, I reckon that's been the best feud all year.
I would find it hard to disagree with you with that. I couldn't really think of one off the top of my head. Braun Reigns, maybe.
Yes. But even that,
even that, there wasn't a story there. It was just two big guys beating the crap out of each other.
This was literally, they built it like in just over a month. Dream v Black.
But they did it so well.
It might have been just under a month, to be honest. I remember there being 4 pivotal events in the feud, and they happened like on the weekly episodes of NXT.
Yeah, it was really good.
It was fantastic. But obviously, we'll come on to that one too.
We'll come on to it. So let's dive straight in. So the first match, we won't have to wait long to talk about Black and Dream, but we've got one match to do first, which was Cassius Ohno against Lars Sullivan. Lars, I'm going to let Croft just peel away. I'm going to introduce and just let you kick us off on each of these because it's your bag.
But while we're discussing the matches, I want to start with kind of what got us to that point.
Okay.
Lars Sullivan has been built up as this monstrous force on NXT. When he first kind of came in, everyone thought just another monster heel, another Braun Strowman kind of character. They tried a different spin with him. He's like this guy that can go in and decimate his opponents, but he's a really intelligent guy as well. They have promos of him quoting poetry and philosophers and all sorts of stuff. Now, which I thought was an interesting spin, but you don't see a lot of it inside the ring. So it's really important to keep him strong and this decimating kind of force. Yeah. This week on NXT, he had a match against Raul Mendoza. He beat him. He's undefeated on NXT. So he beat Raul Mendoza, and he's got this habit of carrying on, beating up his opponents after the match. And this week, Cassius Ohno ran down.
After requesting a match with him.
Yeah, he'd already requested a match to say, you know, I want to take this guy on. I want to knock him down a peg. Don't like how he's treating his opponents. Stared him down and stopped him beating up Raul Mendoza. So that was the build going into it. Nothing big, nothing fancy. And in the match, we just got two big fellas throwing bombs
Whacking
at
the
each
shit
other.
out of each other. Yeah, Ono was throwing some massive forearms
Absolutely.
and elbows.
Something I love about Ono is, like, people like Braun, like, they'll hit people and it'll look painful. You go, okay, that looks legit. When Cassius hits someone, it sounds legit.
Yeah.
Cassius will hit someone and he's like, he's killed him.
He's like,
actually
what? It's like,
killed him.
bloody hell, mate, calm down a bit.
It's mad. And this match was just a proper slugfest.
It really was. I liked when he didn't Hulk up, he Larsing up.
Yeah.
I liked that.
It was great.
Just come on. And his eyes are so intense. There's just that stare in it, which I think you've kind of got to have if you're going to be that type of a person. Like, we've seen it in Braun, and now we're seeing it in Lars. And we saw it in Rusev as well, let's say. But yeah, Lars Sullivan won in a pretty convincing fashion. He looked strong, he looked unstoppable. Where do you see Lars going next?
I can't see Lars going for the main title anytime soon.
No.
Not with who the current champion is, obviously we'll come on to that.
Yeah.
But I think sometime in the future, he'd be good in some kind of rivalry against another kind of monster type character. Preferably a face that can genuinely take him on.
Okay.
Will say my favourite moment from this match was him kicking out at one.
Yeah. Oh my word.
Cassius's kind of strike. Cassius
Wasn't it a cyclone kick?
He did a cyclone kill. He'd done a load of strikes beforehand. The cyclone kill, senton, pinned him and kicked out at one.
Yeah.
The only thing that would have made it better is if Killian Dane had done the same thing to Drew McIntyre a few weeks ago. Well, I say a few weeks ago, a few months ago before he won the title.
Yeah.
But it's a nice spot. It's good to see monsters doing it.
Yeah. It's cool.
And it was, especially against someone like Ono, because Ono, in the weeks before this takeover, has had matches against. I think he had a match against Raul Mendoza actually. And standard finish, his discus forearm pinned him, clean as a whistle. And to see him go against someone like Lars and him kick out a one is like, okay, this guy's legit.
Yeah, this guy's strong.
So
Okay, it was really good.
Had a good entrance as well, Lars.
Oh
Yes.
yes, it was intimidating, man.
Yeah.
The red lighting, the entrance music, spot on.
Yeah, really good. The next match is, as I said, we didn't have to wait long. So it was Aleister Black, in brackets, Aleister Racist. Little CTW throwback there.
Little cheeky one there.
A little cheeky one. CTW podcast. Go and check that out. I think it's episode 19 on A Few Good Marks.
I think you're right.
Versus Velveteen Dream. I popped for Velveteen Dream's tights.
I popped for the whole match.
Whole match. Croft, when you tell us in the lead up to this,
So
tell us this story because it's fucking boss.
this was fantastic. The build up to this. So Aleister Black has been winning his matches week in, week out on NXT, undefeated. Pretty decisive. He's beat some big names as well. Beat Hideo Itami.
Yeah, the last takeover.
That's the biggest name that he's been in the last takeover. He's just been unstoppable, and he's done it in this amazing fashion, and he's really over with the crowd. And Velveteen Dream came out one week. It was the first time Aleister Black was cutting a promo. The first time we'd heard him speak. And Velveteen Dream came out and he said, all that face to black must come into the light. You've been blinded by the Velveteen Dream and all this. The crowd were eating it up from the word go. Black masked the microphone out of Dream's hands, which is amazing. And then Black dropped to a sitting position. I was watching this at the time thinking, Dream's going to get out and it's just a thing for Black.
I saw this.
And then Dream dropped went prone in front of Black and slid out the ring. I was like, okay, this is kicking off a feud.
I popped for that.
As soon as that happened, the crowd went mad for it. It's the loudest response I can remember in NXT. And in the weeks that followed, Dream kept coming out to Black's matches, interrupting them, popping up, taking a jacket. He was doing things like when Black. Do you know what? I think it was against Raul Mendoza again.
This guy's getting some hella coverage on this podcast.
Black had a match against Raul Mendoza, I think. Oh no, it was Leo Rush. It was Leo Rush.
Oh, it was Leo.
Yeah. It was Leo Rush he was scheduled to be against, and Velveteen just came out and laid waste to him. And then I think it was the week before last, Dream actually came out and attacked him.
Right.
And that was when Black was like, okay, you've got my attention now. I'm not saying your name, because there's a whole thing that Dream wanted Black to say his name, and he wouldn't, but he said, you've got my attention, we'll have a match.
Okay. And it led to this.
And oh my god, it was amazing.
It was, wasn't it?
It's legit match of the year.
I love the amount of charisma that oozes out of Velveteen Dream.
Yeah.
He is like a cross between Rick Rude and, in a weird way, Goldust.
Yeah.
He's not as thrusting that sexuality in your face as Goldust was. That uncomfortable side, but it's a little too much for.
He just oozes.
You know what I mean? It's just that little like. Yeah, I like you, but I mean, it's a little uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's that much sexual charisma coming off this guy. It's like, oh, whoa.
Do you know what? It's.
But it's amazing.
It's
not. I'm not saying it's a bad thing at all.
Rick Rude meets Goldust meets Prince.
Yes.
And like obviously.
And a bit of Hendrix in there as well.
A lot of Hendrix actually. Now you mention it. He's just a proper gimmick, but not in the current sense where it's like people like Santino, like people the last few years who've done gimmicks. This is a gimmick that is actually legit.
Yeah.
The crowd were into it. The crowd were getting chants of say his name, like from the opening bell. And it shows you they were behind both of them. It wasn't a case of we're going to turn on the babyface.
Yeah.
We actually want both of these guys to win.
Yeah, it was. It was a both these guys type of moment, wasn't it? In your review, I think you said something about it being slow getting out of the gate.
It really was.
But I thought it was a really good technical start.
It was. What was good about it?
But that led to the match. I think any good match, like really good standout match, has that slow technical start where you can really see the chemistry between the two guys, and then the bigger stuff comes. Especially like when it was really well worked, because when they were just grappling and it was just chain grappling galore, and then Velveteen threw the first punch, and then it was like, this is it.
Yeah,
it's on. And I just like, and from having I haven't trained that much. I'm sure you probably can accredit it to that as well. In match building, that is generally what you tend to do if it's a good match. Unless it's like a bit of rivalry.
You don't fire your bazooka straight away, so to speak. You start with your BB gun, then build up to your biggest weapon.
I think the only thing I could criticise, and not a harsh criticism, it's that Dream obviously isn't the most technically gifted wrestler in the world, and I think that's fair to say.
Yeah.
His chain grappling that's not where his strengths lie. It's in the exuberant, over-the-top moves, the showmanship. And this technical display at the very start of the match might have, especially if people hadn't watched the NXT leading up to it, wouldn't invest them much in the match. They might look at it and go, well, he's not a very good wrestler. Which is exactly what happened in a couple of group chats that were very active while this was going on. And people who hadn't watched NXT in the build-up were like, who's this Velveteen Dream guy? Like, he's not a good wrestler. And it's like, well, keep watching. Just keep watching. So once they got past that, it was literally a perfect match.
Yeah, it was.
Everything was done to perfection.
They mimicked each other at one point.
That was amazing.
Which I was like, oh my god, this is boss. Because I think Dream sat down cross-legged, didn't he? And then Aleister Black went on all fours and went in his face, and that's free. Oh, so good.
It was the mind games playing off against each other.
Absolutely.
Dream's expression was spot on.
Yeah.
His face. That man's 22.
Wow.
He's 22.
That man's facial expression is amazing.
He could be main event in WrestleMania in a few years.
Without a doubt.
Absolutely.
Aleister Black did an amazing moonsault springboard that kind of caught him into this crossbody thing. That was really cool. Spot on.
He's done that perfectly every time he's done it.
That was spot on.
It was even better this time. He just keeps getting better every time I see him.
Black. As you said, he's improving.
Standout move for me of the match is Velveteen Dream's rolling Death Valley Driver.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah. Oh, it's cool. That's his general finish, though, isn't it?
He's the Purple Rainmaker is his finisher, which is the elbow drop. That's like a setup to it.
Oh, that's the
That move is sick.
That rolling Death Valley. He did a modified DDT thing.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that as well.
And I popped through it. I was like, what is that?
I stood out my chair like, this guy's amazing, and he's 22.
Was sick. Aleister Black got the win, but my Christ, what a match.
For me, they both got the win.
They did, yeah.
Just because the only reason Dream was doing this is so Aleister Black would say his name.
Yeah.
Obviously, it finished with Enjoy Infamy.
Enjoy Infamy, Velveteen Dream.
And it was just a great show of respect without them doing the whole, raise his arm after the match.
Yeah.
Didn't need it.
No, it didn't. It was
just, I'll say your name, I'll leave.
It was spot on.
It was brilliant.
It was.
I gave it a 9 out of 10.
You did.
I have in my review, I gave a standout star to each match. The first match I gave Lars Sullivan. This one was both. It was just impossible to choose.
Yeah, absolutely.
They both did the job.
Completely
perfectly.
agree. Next up was the Fatal 4-Way for the vacant NXT Women's Championship. It was Nikki Cross against Kairi Sane against Peyton Royce and Ember Moon. Yeah, really good match.
It was okay, yeah.
Good match. I wrote down the exact same thing as what you wrote down. I wrote this down as I was watching the show, and I read it on yours. I was like, it could have gone longer.
Yes.
Definitely could have gone
Deserved
longer.
at least another 5
the
minutes.
moment that they started going for finishes, I was like, oh, already? Oh, okay.
John, the worst thing about it is going into the match, I knew it would be too short. Because I knew in the build-up to it, and it's like when it started, it was like, Nikki Cross is going to go for that fisherman in a minute. Oh, there it is. And it's like, it's been 10 minutes. So it wasn't even 10 minutes. It's been like 5-6 minutes.
Yeah,
It's going to end in a minute, and then it did.
It was a shame. Considering when there was a 5 women's number 1 contenders match a couple of weeks ago. It was either Hell in a Cell or TLC or something. And that match, considering that was a women's match as well. But considering that it was a numbered more than 2 competitors, it was a really well done match. And it seemed like that was the right way to go with them matches. One of the best versions I've ever seen. Normally they're a bit messy. This wasn't messy, but there was much more they could have done with it.
I would have preferred if this was an elimination match.
I agree.
Because I think that's not something I put in my review, but I think it would have protected Kairi more than this. A lot of the kind of prevailing opinion that I've seen online is what was the point of the Mae Young Classic. It's not something I agree with, but I can see why people do. If this was elimination, we could have had Kairi in the final 2. If they were going to give it to Ember, at least make Kairi look a bit more legit.
Yeah.
I didn't want Kairi to win. Going into the match, I was like, anyone but Kairi. Nothing against her, I don't want her to win so soon. Because I think Ember deserves it more. Peyton deserves it more.
Nikki deserves it more. Ember Moon won with an eclipse to 2 people.
Yes.
It was amazing. And she is the new and rightfully deserving NXT Women's Champion. It's the story of the year, really. She couldn't beat Asuka for it twice. And then Asuka's gone, so she has been the top. Yeah, really, she definitely deserved it.
It was a nice touch, Asuka coming in the ring.
Yeah, I've got that as well. Sweet moment having Asuka present.
It looked like an improvised thing.
Yeah,
I think it might have been, to be honest.
Could have been,
but the thing Asuka would do, just jump the barricade and give her the title.
Could have been, but then that could also be down to William Regal's amazing selling.
It could be.
Okay, you can have it.
I really liked how good and explosive it looked throughout the whole match for everyone involved. Everyone kind of got the shit in, apart from Kairi. Kairi didn't seem to get anything apart. The only things I remember Kairi doing are a decent spear and her elbow drop. And about it. Whereas I remember other people doing lots of other things. My standout star, for that matter, was Peyton Royce.
Yeah, Peyton was amazing.
She was great last night. Best match she's ever had.
Yeah, she was amazing. I really want to see her get a number 1 contenders spot and have a 1-on-1 with Ember.
Yes, I agree.
I'd come, is it NXT Philadelphia? Cue the Always Sunny in Philadelphia memes coming for that one. I'm pretty sure
we'll be making them.
Absolutely. But yeah, I would like to see, that is a match I'd like to see for that, looking ahead.
The problem is she's just been overlooked for so long as part of the women's division.
I think it's probably because she's part of a duo, and it's not a tag team centric division. It's very much an every woman for themselves type.
They're the only tag team in the division.
They are, which is fine because there's a lot you can do with that. But there is this holding back type of scenario, and she is better than Billie Kay.
She is
in everything, in charisma, in ring. She's better in every way. It's awesome. Bad looking. Next up was the NXT Championship match. Andrade Cien Almas against Drew McIntyre, who was defending. Really good back and forth, I thought.
Really good.
I'll let you build up on the build up and stuff. Build up on the build up.
This was an interesting one. Almas has been on NXT for a very long time. It's easy to forget how long he's been there.
I remember his debut.
I don't know how long for sure, but it's a long time.
He has been there.
It's a lot longer than most people get on NXT. And he recently went through a gimmick resurgence. He'd been this happy-go-lucky playboy kind of character for a very long time. And they had his manager, Zelina Vega, as planted in the crowd. And the story was she approached him and said, I'll help you get better, I'll help you go for the championship and sort your life out, basically. So she did that, made him into this legit competitor. Even before he was going for the title, she was accompanying him to matches, telling him to stop the Playboy stuff, stop hanging yourself on the ropes, stop the taunting, just do your job, kick some heads in, and get the pin. So he had Selena approach Drew after he won the title and said, give Almas a title shot. It's back and forth, and Drew was like, get him to face me like a man. This was the prevailing theme. Going to it, Zelina's doing all your work for you. And eventually they agreed to it. They had the planned contract signing. Almas attacked Drew from behind, pinned the contract to him with
the gum. Yeah, that was a nice little...
The week later, they got a beat down on Drew again. Drew looked immensely weak going into this feud.
I agree.
Drew did not look like a champion.
I agree.
At all. And that's the one complaint I've had about NXT in the past month.
Yeah.
It's that the champion looked so weak.
They've not treated Drew like the champion is. But then that's the problem when they've been focusing mostly on the whole that the NXT title has taken a back burner to the War Games build up.
Yes.
And most importantly, Adam Cole. I mean, like, he's looked weak since the moment he won it, when Adam Cole made his debut and beat him down for it.
Yep.
Drew had been champion barely 5 minutes, and Adam Cole was on the scene, and then everyone was like, oh yeah, Drew's won it, Drew. That is the exact reaction of what happened in the NXT universe. It just went from here to here.
Well, because the crowd went hot on Drew anyway.
Not really.
Drew has always got a lukewarm reaction. I love Drew.
I think being British and being we always support the homegrown talent.
We do,
but it is nice also to see someone who's come back, had a rough time in WWE to begin with, and then come over to England, and he's made such a name for himself over here, and has been an amazing competitor in, namely ICW and in what Culture Pro Wrestling. I think it's now Dominant Wrestling. Defiant. Yeah. Like, just in them two brands and just seeing how huge he made himself, and then to be taken back into NXT and given that title, and it just seemed a little like, he's your champion. This guy is your champion. Hello,
Don't forget about this guy.
Drew's your champion. He's your most important player.
Don't forget about this big, handsome, burly hoss of a Scottish fella who is...
His accent
looks like a champion.
I know he does look. His accent because he's spent so long in America. His accent isn't fully Scottish.
It's fading,
and it's like, oh no, mate.
But like, you're listening to him, and you're looking at him. It's like, yeah, that guy's a champion.
Yeah.
So why isn't he being treated like one?
I know.
And then we got to War Games last night, and they had a great match.
Yeah, Almas really showed off his creative offense.
Yes.
In the match, I was actually really impressed by him. What's this?
He got a really good reaction from the crowd as well.
Yeah, surprisingly.
It's because his theme's fucking lit.
Something like that. It's way better than Del Rio's.
Yeah, absolutely.
If it's in that same kind of Mexico theme category, Latino type thing, it's definitely better than most.
His whole character is just how to do that kind of gimmick.
Yeah, pretty much. I thought Almas had genuinely won it after, I can't remember what I've written there, after Vega hit, I think that was a Hurricanrana, because Vega hit
like a Hurricanrana driver.
Yeah, I thought that was it. I was like, oh, they're going to cheat to win, that's fair play, and then he kicked out. I was like, oh, okay, we're still going.
It was cool how it was the Hurricanrana driver and the Hammerlock DDT.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought
and then he kicked out again. I thought, okay, he's won. And then he kicked out, and it's like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
After that, though, I thought...
And then he had the Claymore. I was like, yeah, okay.
And then she pulled his foot on the rope. I was like, yeah, that was good. I like that. And then the finish...
Top rope Hammerlock DDT.
Yeah.
Where he bounced in the cell. Oh my Christ, what a DDT.
Some insider information for you. Not so much inside, it's pretty much common knowledge now.
Yeah.
Drew's fucked himself. Drew's absolutely... messed up his bicep.
Oh no!
You could see it in the match. He grabbed onto the top rope because he's a heavy dude.
I tweeted it, I think, as well.
And like, as Almas pulled him up for the DDT, it was to give him some leverage. And
was this on the top rope DDT?
Yeah. And apparently Almas either dropped before Drew was expecting him to, or he held on to the rope too long.
It did look a little awkward.
He held on to the rope as he fell, and it's apparently torn his bicep.
Oh, that's painful. It did look awkward.
So if you ask me, Drew's going to be out for a little while.
I would, yeah.
Apparently he's meant to be getting evaluations on tonight, tonight,
and we'll
see.
To be honest, if I was WWE, if I was booking it, whether he's injured or not, I would keep him off the screens for a while and then have him re-debut on the main roster.
Yeah,
he does not need to be in NXT.
No, he doesn't. The thing is, I think with the title thing, is integrating him in. Showing they've got faith in him now. But it was just about the reintegration. He's done the WWE way before. He knows how to do it. This was simply just getting him back up to standard with that, and now he's ready. Yeah, I'd happily let him go back up to Raw or SmackDown.
I think it was to test the waters of him as a face. They wanted to test the crowd reactions to him as a face, which were, as I said, lukewarm.
They were lukewarm.
And they might bring him back on the main roster as a heel, because it's really easy to get a big angry Scottish fella over as a heel.
Yeah.
You just haven't.
I'm just, people. With the whole thing, if you ever wonder if they wanted to just to bung all the British guys into the British division, oh my Christ, what a division that would be!
It'd be sick.
You'd have Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate, Drew McIntyre, Killian Dane, Jack Gallagher, Wolfgang, Mark Andrews, Joe Connors. I feel like I'm missing people. Trent Seven. Fuck Trent Seven. He's fat.
Killian Dane.
I'm yet to see.
And he put on the best match of the night.
I'm yet to see anything good out of Trent Seven. I'm yet to see a good match out from him.
You have not watched the UK tournament closely enough then?
Which match? I've seen it several times.
The ones with Trent Seven in? Because they were all boss.
Underwhelmed. For how hyped he was, his matches, Bate and Dunn's matches.
Well, yeah, because it's Bate and Dunne.
Yeah, but he's supposed to be on par with them.
He's not on par with Bate and Dunne, but he's still good.
He's average. Joe Connors is way better. So is Mark Andrews. So is everybody else on that roster.
I'm not a big fan of Mark Andrews myself.
It's because he does flippy and divey shit.
Yeah. That's exactly why.
Anyway, my last note, but as I say, that went off topic. But yeah, that if they fully just went for it and put Sheamus, even Finn Balor, throw the Irish guys in there as well.
That's cool.
Oh my God, what?
Bring Neville back.
What? Neville?
They brought Wade Barrett back. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Have William Regal the general manager of the whole thing.
That'd be. Don't. My penis can only be so right. My last note on that was poor Drew, because he did look sad. He looked like he'd hurt himself.
He looked like he'd hurt himself. He looked like he'd had a pretty piss poor championship reign.
Yeah, he did.
And he needs a resurgence on the main roster. The rating I gave that match in total was 8.5, mainly because it's got two of my favourites in. I love Almas and I love Drew. Almas is one of the best in the world. He's top 10 in the world right now, if you ask me.
Do you reckon it was an improv decision having him drop the belt?
There and then, because he injured himself?
I don't reckon so. But honestly, with the build that Almas has been getting, I feel like it's been planned for a while.
Yeah.
Almas was rumoured to be called up to SmackDown when the first Superstar Shake-Up happened.
Right.
So he has been in the pipeline to move up for a while, so I think instead they're going to try him as a champion on NXT for a while.
They need that star power as well. At the same time, NXT is still a business. They've got shows to run and stuff, so they need that drawing power.
It's become the third brand now. It's not developmental anymore. And they need someone good like Almas who can
carry the flag.
Carry it.
Absolutely. Now, the main event. War Games. Wow.
What a match.
I have here in my first note, I wonder what Croft makes of the Undisputed Era.
Love them.
Do you?
I genuinely, absolutely love them.
Yeah.
They were my pick going into this match.
Fair.
I didn't like him at first, because I'll admit I knew nothing about Red Dragon. I knew a little bit about Adam Cole. Not to the extent that fans of Ring of Honor and the Bullet Club and everything would know. But certainly, I knew a bit about him. Didn't know anything about Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. The first thing I'd seen of Bobby Fish was his match with Aleister Black. He impressed me then. I thought, who's this Bobby Fish guy? And then they turned up as Undisputed Era. This match just solidified the fact that I really like them. There's not much else can say.
So the War Games was laid out. I'm pretty sure we don't have to explain the layout of it.
We don't
even
really
the build-up's confusing. People were just jumping people left, right, and centre, and then the Authors of Pain came back.
The build-up's explained quite easily, I reckon.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to try and do it. I say this, and it's going to sound complicated.
Try and do it in layman's terms.
I'm going to do it on the fly. Okay, so you've got the 3 teams going in with Sanity, who are an established team, tag team champions. They beat the Authors of Pain for the championships. Mm-hmm. So Authors of Pain don't like Sanity. You've got Roderick Strong in the mix, who has been approached by the Undisputed Era for weeks and weeks to join them. He also doesn't like Sanity because they used to be against Roderick Strong.
Yes.
So he doesn't like Sanity or the Undisputed Era. Sanity are feuding with the Undisputed Era, so it's like they're going to be putting the championships on like the next pay-per-view. There's going to be a match between them. Mm-hmm. Authors of Pain have been out since they dropped the titles. Authors of Pain all of a sudden come back. There's a big brawl. If the Authors of Pain are outnumbered, who's the one person that's going to come out against these 2 teams who doesn't like either of them? It's got to be Roderick Strong. It seemed weird that we had Roddy Strong with the Authors of Pain. It's such a weird mismatch. But it was cool. I think it worked really well.
But the way you've just explained it does make sense as well.
Yeah, it's all intertwined, and it makes sense for all 3 teams to be fighting each other in War Games.
Absolutely. The rules were, they had a WWE spin on them, whereby 1 member from each of the 3 teams started in the match, and then after 5 minutes, 2 members from one team would then enter, and then every 3 minutes the other 4 would then enter in turn.
And you can only get the win after
all 9 participants were involved.
I had no problem with that.
I didn't either, just because I knew it was 1 at a time normally. But I guess they did it just to quicken it up a little, just to quick the pace up a bit. But yeah, so running through the match, the Undisputed Era were the first full team in. And took control. Then the Authors of Pain were the next 2 in, and they came in to help the Ghostwriter of Pain.
The Ghostwriter of Pain.
I popped so hard for that this morning. That was such a good quote. Did you get that? Did you pop that yourself? Or?
No, of course I didn't.
Oh, it's so
good. I read
good.
somewhere else.
So good.
Congratulations in order to whoever on WWE shitpost wrote that.
Wrote that. Kudos to you, sir.
Well done to you.
Kudos. I also have here Authors of Pain tossing everybody off.
Yes,
they did just throw everybody off,
including their own team members.
Yeah, but it was genius. Like that was the best one, I think, because that was the one I saw that looked the most safe as well, because he cleared both rings really easily. And I have here Sanity brought the party to the party. Yes. Oh my god! I was like, when he was like went under the ring, I was like, yeah, all right, yeah, go on then. And then they're getting all the stuff out, and the fans chanting like, this chant happened. And I was like, oh come on, that's just being ungrateful. Just being ungrateful. And then he got the tables. Yeah. And he was just like, yeah, all right, fair play.
I don't know if Killian Dane really won me over tonight.
Oh,
I'll tell you in advance, he's
amazing.
My standout star that I gave the match to.
Yeah, Dane.
I'll explain why later.
I've got here Dane showing why he's boss.
Yeah, like he was on the steps. He just brought the weapons out. He heard get the tables, and he looked and he was like, most people when they hear that would ignore it and just get on with the plan. Mm. You can tell Killian Dane was like, yeah, all right then.
Yeah, fair.
Go on.
And then they did. I wonder if that was a planned spot on.
Honestly, I think it was just on the fly.
On the fly, that's cool.
And what are you going to do with 2 tables and then you're going to suplex someone through?
Yeah, absolutely. And it was the 2 guys who set them up who went through it in due fashion. Yeah, it was just carnage around the ring. Just
Dane. Dane was so good.
He was amazing.
Swallowing the key.
Yep.
He just looked mental.
He looked boss. If
the coast to coast.
Yeah. He showed how agile he is.
That's like a 350-pound man doing a coast to coast and cleared the ring.
Yep.
Oh, it was belter.
He's so
Even
good.
the little muttering to Cole before he did it, was like, that's your boy. I'm about to fuck his head. Killed him.
He's just like, you see your friend there? Yeah. He's going to be dead in a sec. Yeah, he was good. I fully expect him to be a breakout of thing. I don't really expect too much from Alexander Wolf when Sanity break up.
It's a shame because he's really good. He's just not got the look.
Yeah, unless he changes something within his gimmick, or they do something, because we all know that Eric Young's the leader. Of course, he's going to be he's going to be his own thing. But I feel kind of like it's going to be what they did with the Shield, whereas it's going to be Wolf that turns on them two, because looking at it from matching up the way the Shield were on their first run to Sanity, you've got Dane, who's Reigns, Eric, who's Ambrose, and Wolf would be Rollins, who's got this, because I think it was the same with Rollins, who people knew how good he was, but he couldn't really show off because of the style that the Shield were. He couldn't really show off the heel or facey side of things because they were mostly his style, because they were mostly heel.
He only really got the spotlight when they turned face.
Yeah.
And obviously that didn't last all that long.
No, absolutely.
I reckon if anyone's in heel on them, I reckon it'll be Dane.
Yeah, I guess it's more one of them. I don't need you guys.
No, just because I know it was like a jokey joke thing, but the little video slots before the matches. It was quite early on in the night. Sanity had one where they were backstage and we came in and talked to them.
Yeah.
And Dane and Wolf were fighting over the title belt. Did you see it?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
And Dane had it by the throat.
Yeah. It was great.
No, do you know that?
It was in the background, like
right.
Regal was talking to Young.
I remember the package, but I remember the package more for Nikki Cross just running out.
Yeah.
I remember it for that. Just it's just like
Wolf had the belt.
Was she meant to be there?
Wolf had the belt because he won it.
Yeah.
He was there. He was like, Dane just tried to take it off. I was like, no, it's my belt. And Dane just fully choked him. Just like, give me your fucking belt. It was great. And I could see it being like a black comedy kind of thing with Sanity.
Yeah.
Especially on the main roster. With things like the fashion files, there's room for it.
Yeah.
Sanity up on the roof doing Sanity things. I'd pop for it.
Doing Sanity things.
I'd pop for it. It'd be great.
Fair, man.
If they got nothing serious for them, give them that.
Fair. Undisputed Era picked up the win.
As they should.
The final, I thought this was a very telling sign of things to come. The final shot of the night before it faded to black was purely Adam Cole's face. On that side note, Adam Cole is a very beautiful man. That is hard to deny.
It's true.
He's a good looking bloke.
Do you know what? I have my standout star for each one of these. For this one, I was tempted to put in the person who impressed me the least. In this match, it was Adam Cole. I didn't get anything from Adam Cole this match.
But I think
even Eric Young showed me more than Adam Cole.
But I think that's because he's just so he's protected that much that he's he doesn't have to yet. He's just waiting his time because he's got Fish and O'Reilly to do everything for him, and that's the point of Undisputed Era.
But this is the problem, and it's the problem they're having with Kairi Sane as well. WWE are very focused on things that grew in WWE should be pushed more.
Yeah.
But then when they bring a big star in like Kairi Sane or like Adam Cole, all of a sudden they expect the crowd to know they are. I don't watch Ring of Honor. I haven't seen anything that Kairi Sane had done before she got to WWE. So for all intents and purposes, I don't know who these people are.
That's true.
So
if you're not, I think that
don't expect me to take WWE as the main promotion, and then also expect me to give a shit when you get someone like that.
That's true.
Give me a build. Give me a reason to like these people other than, well, haven't you seen what they've done in other promotions? I haven't, because I've been doing what you wanted me to do for the past 10 years and I only watch WWE. So you can have it one way or you can have it the other.
Yeah.
But if you're going to sign someone like Adam Cole, make me believe in them. The way I closed off what I wrote this morning was obviously Dane being a stand-up star. He's fantastic. Legit monster. But as for what happens next after the TakeOver, Sullivan, still the most dominant force in NXT.
Yeah.
That's going to continue. He's going to put on the same performance at the next TakeOver, I think, before anything serious happens.
Yeah.
Black and Dream stole the show.
Yeah.
I gave 10 out of 10 to War Games because it was a 10 out of 10 match to me.
It was
but
good.
I still preferred Dream v Black. If that makes sense.
I agree. In terms of storytelling, in terms of a pure thoroughbred match, it was great. War Games was an amazing spectacle. But for me, that was match of the night.
In terms of what I'm going to remember more,
Velveteen.
Black v Dream. In
Kind
terms of what I enjoyed at the time, War Games.
Sad that it's over. Black and Dream, to be honest.
Yeah. I'm gutted. It's been my favourite feud all year.
But now it's Black, as you said before, where does Lars go? I see Lars and Black butting heads the next one, maybe.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
But for me, it's more where does Velveteen Dream go after this?
Well,
he's got the respect. He'd made him look great. He's got the respect now. Wouldn't mind seeing a mini program with Almas, to be honest.
Do you know what I'd love?
He doesn't have to win because he's going to be there a few more years. But fuck it, he may as well.
Do you know what I would absolutely love? Is if Black and Dream kind of went into a rut after the feud and formed a tag team. If they just kind of dropped off and stopped doing stuff and they kind of went a downward spiral and then they just went, look, I gave you the best match of your career, You gave me mine.
If
Tag
only
team,
they were closer to like the next Dusty Rhodes tag team tournament.
Well, they haven't had one this year.
They did. Authors of Pain won it.
Not the one from this year, it was last year.
Was it really that long ago?
I think so.
No, it was definitely this year.
Was it this year?
Yes.
You sure?
Definitely.
2015 was shown.
Let's have a look quickly.
Cheeky little...
Dusty Rhodes Tag Team
you
Classic.
might be right.
I don't think they had one this year.
But it feels like that was too far away. And
Swear Authors of Pain won it. Actually,
Yeah,
no.
they did.
No, you did.
They haven't
you know
had
what,
one,
I
it was
think-
2016.
Oh, he's right.
Christ.
Wow. Fair enough.
So they haven't had one yet, so
Well,
they might have it early next year.
Very true.
And they team up for it, because they've got nothing else to do. And they win it.
That would be...
That's what
I'd
happens.
pop so
So would
hard.
I.
Right.
You can imagine it in the ring. It's like, Aleister Black's there, and he's like, oh, maybe when he first loses a match. He goes against Sullivan at a takeover.
Yeah.
Sullivan beats him, and then he's sat in the ring. Dream comes out. Like, let's enter the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. Did we just become best friends?
I think we'll leave you with that. This has been recent developments. We hope you enjoyed listening. Give us our feedback. Give us our feedback. Give us your feedback. We know what we think. We want to hear what you guys think.
Agreed.
Tell us how we did. Tell us how you're feeling. How are you? How's your mum?
Yes. All that good stuff.
Don't know where that came
What
from.
are you
Great
excited
since last
for?
night.
What did you think of War Games? What do you want to see next week on NXT? What do you think of that idea of Black and Dream as a tag team?
Give us all of your thoughts. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Check our website for daily updates. I think
Pretty much
now,
yeah.
almost daily, weekly. There's new stuff up there. All the
I'm
time.
going to be reviewing NXT every week.
Yeah.
It's going to be going up hopefully the morning after, when I wake up and watch it early in the hours in the morning. So that's going to be happening.
Yep.
So you'll get an NXT
So
review every
Croft will
week.
keep you up to date week by week, and then we'll do these monthly, so I can have my say too,
Of course.
and also anybody else who wants to join in, like Pete. Right, we shall see you very, very soon. Thank you for listening. See you, guys.
See you soon.
In a bit.